This is Gabriel Gonzalez for Cageside Press, and I am here with UFC bantamweight Tony Kelley, who's getting ready to fight Randy Costa next Saturday at UFC 269 on December 11th. First off, Tony, you're taking a drive to Las Vegas from Louisiana. Why not fly? Because I feel like, all those hours, that's time I just want not in the car. You know what I mean?
you know, I'm just a little different, man. I don't flying right now with the COVID stipulations and people telling me, to cover my face and all these mandates. It's just not for me. It's not my scene, and I'd rather just, have peace of mind. We've got a lot of stuff to bring, so we're kind of stacked out with gear, equipment, all kind of stuff. So it just worked out better this way.
Now, with that kind of drive, are you in charge of the playlist? Like, because you're the one fighting, do they let you control what's on the radio, or how do you guys break it down?
We all just take turns, whatever. It really goes off the driver, like whatever the driver's feeling, whatever the mood is for the driver. That's all. We kind of take turns on that.
You ever just get out on the side of the road just to hit pads and get a sweat in because it's coming up?
We haven't, but we do make frequent stops, to stretch the legs and stuff like that, but luckily we're in a comfortable ride, so it's all right.
Well, let's talk about a little bit. This is actually my first time interviewing you, so I'd like some background information just before we start talking about Randy and everything else next Saturday. First off, when were you first introduced to martial arts?
Man, probably my junior or senior year in high school. Actually, maybe even a little bit sooner. It's hard for me to remember that far back. But I had a buddy of mine that was doing jiu-jitsu, and I was like a little trouble kid getting into fights. And he was like, "Hey, man, come to this jiu-jitsu class." And I went in there, and this guy, really skinny guy, nerdy looking individual, just kind of did what he wanted to me. He was like arm-barring me, choking me out. And I was like, "Man, what is like? I gotta learn this, what is going on?" So it kind of struck my fascination and just kind of started. Here we are.
Hey, I mean, us nerdy skinny dudes, we're the ones who got to watch out for, man. No one taught you this.
Yeah, that's right.
And also, all right, so just obviously with jiu-jitsu, was that where you first heard about, MMA, UFC and all that, or did that come a little bit later?
No, yeah, The Ultimate Fighter, I think season 1 was somewhere in that time span. I just remember, watching The Ultimate Fighter season 1, and that struck my interest because, they're telling me, hey, you can make money fighting people for a living. And I'm like, yeah, okay, well, I already fight people right now, so that sounds really good.
And now, so you talked about it, got into a little bit of trouble, weren't afraid to scrap, before you became a professional. What was the plan, you think, when you were younger? I mean, what kind of career path were you looking at? What were you thinking you might be doing, if the whole professional fighter thing, before that happened, and obviously before it really took off for you?
Honestly, I thought I was going to be a musician. I was a drummer for many years, and I was in a band called Echoes of Existence. And we won Battle of the Bands. We won a couple different little things like that. We opened up for some big names and played a couple shows. And my lead singer and guitar player, they went off to college and did the whole school thing and just kind of went separate ways. And I'm like, well, what do I do now?
How often do you
evolved into this?
Can I ask how often do you still jam? Like how often, do you still got the kid and just get the sticks out every now and then still?
Oh man, I don't even have I don't have my trap set anymore, unfortunately. But there's always Christmas, so you know what I mean. Maybe someone surprises me with like a little set for Christmas or something.
Yeah, maybe a certain UFC flyweight that's sitting behind you, yeah?
Right, exactly.
Good stuff there. To talk about it then, just with your UFC career, obviously, you make your debut, and this is such a big deal, obviously, for any fighter. And I know you have 2 fights in the UFC, but Obviously going from the regional scene and doing your thing to now being part of the UFC, and everyone's talking about it. People live tweet from the prelims to the main event. It's a lot more attention. Can you just talk a little bit about that experience going from the regional scene to now you got those three letters on your gloves and you get to put that on your profile being a UFC fighter?
It's amazing, you know. I think when you start out as an MMA fighter, this is the ultimate goal. This is the end goal for most people, and to end up here, you know, is it's pretty incredible. I've traveled around the world, and, been in gyms with people that I think deserve to be there. Some really good guys. It's awesome, man. Put it into words. It's pretty cool, and I get to represent Shreveport, Louisiana. You know, there's not a lot of come out of there. I think it's myself, Matt Schnell, Victoria Leonardo, and Andrea Lee. So it's pretty awesome.
No, I think that's pretty cool. And one of the things that's about this card coming up on Saturday, obviously you got Mr. Louisiana himself, Dustin Poirier. Can you just talk a little bit? I know he goes to do his camps at ATT, but do you run into Dustin, you know, around the Louisiana training scene and just, you know, sharing that card with him? Obviously, if he gets the win, it's a big one for Louisiana and not just him.
Oh yeah, actually, there's three of us on the card from Louisiana. So me, Matt Schnell, and Dustin Poirier. So that's pretty awesome. I've ran into him a couple of times down south. They're about 3.5 hours from where we live. We're up north. They're down in Lafayette. You got a little gym down there, and been blessed to be able to go down there. But yeah, we don't train together too frequently. You know, like you said, he's in ATT, and I think he just comes back, you know, periodically from time to time. We're situated in Shreveport, Bossier, and we got a little gym called SMAA. Coach Wayne Knutson. We're working. We're in the kitchen.
When they profiled Andrea's camp, you guys usually travel. I know she does the Colorado thing and MMA Gold, but this camp, you guys actually brought everybody in to Louisiana to train. I'm assuming you did that also. Can you just talk about the decision and how that worked out as opposed to kind of traveling, getting a little bit of a feel with everybody for a camp?
You know, I think when you travel and you go to other gyms that you're not training at every day, I think that you get a lot of good looks. You know, you get different techniques and applications from different types of people, but you don't have the general understanding of what you've been doing every day. And I think, you know, we put together some stuff back home to where we're just continuing to get better at certain areas, and we're just developing those areas. You know, we've got our coaches kind of put in place now, and you know, there's no place like home. So it's tough to travel all the time, and you know, with laundry, with eating, you know, cooking, all of those things involved, you know, it becomes kind of stressful a little bit. It's hard. And it's very easy to sleep in your own bed and to put a system in place and to have everything you need. So we worked really hard at trying to build something down south, and we've got it. We're still building, and I think, you know, we're here to make some noise.
And I'm assuming, you know, if someone really asks you, you'll make a couple travel trips, but do you feel like this is going to be the setup moving forward? You know, keep it in Louisiana for as much as you can for your camps?
You know, that's the idea. Andrea's got she's got a daughter, you know, so she gets to stay home and spend time with her daughter. You know, we've got a lot of people that are involved in our circle, and they know the growth, they know our skill sets. They're kind of, you know, they're watching every practice, so they kind of, you know, we build these relationships on how to get better, and all that's kind of put in place. We've been developing a facility, and we've been expanding slowly, and we finally got to a position where we're able to fly people out and let them come and join our camps. And I have Alon Cruz come down from Florida. He spent a week down here giving me some good looks. Shout out to Alon. Thank you so much for the work. We're just going to keep doing that and keep building, and we're going to give them help.
Let's talk about your opponent coming up, Randy Costa. I know you did an interview and you talked a lot about his youth. And I wanted you to expand a little bit on that if you could. I mean, obviously, age difference. When you were a young fighter around his age coming up, what do you remember about that mindset and that mentality compared to where you're at now for yourself?
Just I don't know, just being a little bit more fearless and I guess reckless, you know, taking more risks. Just being a guy that comes forward and tries to eat, you know. Right now with I guess you're talking about with experience and stuff with the years that I have on Randy, I think I've really matured mentally, also physically. I think I'm not as reckless as I used to be, and refine some elements of my game, and still have that dog in me. You know, I'm not old, so.
Talk about his game a little bit. Just what do you think he brings to the table as an opponent? And, not giving the plan away, but what are some of the things that you're going to be looking to do out there in the cage?
The gunslinger. He's a guy that's a front runner. That's what I call him. He comes out. He's really aggressive. He's not scared to fight. He's trying to knock you out, and I like that. I applaud that because that makes me train hard. You know, that brings the very best version of myself out, and that's all I can ever ask for. You know, I wanted to fight the best, and that's why I'm in the UFC. I want to fight the best. And Randy is one of those guys. You know, you can't make many mistakes against a guy like Randy because he'll make you pay for it. But I think he's got a lot of quit in him. I don't have any in me. I don't know. We're just going to find out. You know, I'm going to come out here and I'm going to push a pace, and we're going to see who falls first.
Now, one of the things about this fight on the prelims is that you guys are matched up very well. A lot of people are expecting that one to be some good television. I don't got to tell you, there are a lot of good names, a lot of good guys on this card, Tony. Everyone wants to go home with that finish. What do you think you got to do to really make a statement there early in the night before everything gets going in the main card?
Well, I plan on setting the tone. You know, I plan on coming out executing the way I've been this whole camp. You know, like I said, I plan on pushing the pace, and I plan on obliging him. You know, he wants to get rowdy. Let's go, Randy. We're going to see. I'll stand toe-to-toe with you, and we'll find out. And I think that in itself is going to, negate that, or to, I guess, get that bonus. I think that's going to be enough to get it done. I know we got competition, though, so, but I like my chances.
Can I ask, outside of Dustin and Matt, obviously, which fights are you looking forward to when you take a look at that card? Because obviously, with Sean O'Malley, Taito Ivasa, Dominic Cruz in your weight class, there's a lot to like about the undercard too.
Yeah, you know what? There's a lot. I mean, obviously, Dustin and Charles Oliveira, I'm excited about that. Amanda Nunez, I mean, that's exciting. But I mean, she's the GOAT. Sugar Sean, he is exciting. That's somebody I'd like to see standing across from me down the road. I'm most excited about my fight, honestly, because I can't wait to show the world how hard I've worked, and I've had a full training camp. I've been able to put things into place, and this is Tony 3.0 coming.
We're looking forward to it. Like I said, this one, any way you slice it, it's expected to be a really fun fight. So I'm looking forward to it and seeing you out there live in person, competing for the first time. So I appreciate your time. I know you guys are on the road, so have a good rest of your trip. And ladies and gentlemen, once again, Tony Kelley taking on Randy Costa next Saturday, UFC 269 on December 11th. You are not going to want to miss it.
That's right. Thank you so much for having me on. We really appreciate it. We'll talk soon.